All right, now, say, man, hey, man, you already know what it is, Osiris Lourde. You know what I'm saying? You can follow me on Instagram. I think the Lord above right there. And we got DEKU versus ASTA on the screen right now. Death Battle. Make sure you go check out the Death Battle page and subscribe and do all of that. But, you know, LordsGiftShop.nyc, LordsGiftShop.com. I think the Lord. Follow me on Twitch, The Lord Loves You, and YouTube, The Lord Loves You. All right, so I never seen either. Oh, excuse me. I seen MHA. I'm not gonna lie and say I never seen MHA, but I definitely never really watched it like that. So this is all gonna be brand new
this
for me.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Mint Mobile
and BetterHelp.
Get their money real quick, and here we go. Hopefully that's not too loud. Might be.
DEKU, My Hero Academia's super student, straight out of UA High.
ASTA, the anti-magical ass
My
kicker
headphones
from
be
Black
too
Clover.
loud, so I think it's too loud, and then I hear the video, and y'all can't even hear the video.
Stopping you from achieving your dreams.
As long as you're a fictional character in a fantasy world.
And you know we got our.
I mean, as long as you've got your friends by your side, you'll pack
Kool-Aid
a hell of a punch.
Lammers, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm
Bryce
Boomstick.
Brispries.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Izuku Midoriya wanted only one thing from life.
I only seen like
beacon of hope, just like his idol, the #1 ranked superhero in Japan, All Might.
I know All Might.
Too bad he was born a freak with no powers. You heard right. This is like a reverse X-Men thing where 80% of the population gets rad superpowers, or quirks as they're called, while the remaining fifth are stuck as basic bitches. Or as his spiky-haired bully Bakugo called him, DEKU.
That's a pun on the Japanese word dekunobu, meaning good for nothing.
Persevering despite his basic bitchedness, Midoriya got the chance to prove his quirkless heroic mettle against this giant sludge monster, much to the surprise of one particular almighty onlooker.
His body secretly decaying from a horrific injury, All Might needed to find the one who would inherit his all-powerful quirk.
And All Might didn't want just anybody. The hero world was filled with glory seekers in it for fame and money. All Might wanted someone whose body moved on its own to save someone.
He saw exactly that in young Midoriya, and gave him one of the most powerful quirks in the world, One for All.
That was the problem. Even after bulking up from lad to Chad, the recoil from even one punch would shatter all the bones in his arm. So he trained to be able to handle his gift at the superhero school of his dreams, UA High.
And that's when he decided to own the name used as a cudgel against him for so many years. Turns out, DEKU can also be an abbreviation for Dekuru, someone who can do anything.
Exactly the opposite of Dekunobu. One for All allows Deku to release absolutely absurd amounts of strength from different parts of his body, with super moves named after US cities and states.
Deku still can't access all of his power safely though. Using 100% will quickly destroy his body, which is why he learned to distribute his strength evenly across his body, a technique known as full cowling. This lets him increase his speed and durability as well, making him more all-rounded, and shifting focus to his own interpretation of One for All inspired by his pal Ida, shoot style.
Where he pulls out a Glock and blows your brains out.
Wow.
Okay, not really, but in keeping with One for All's rabbit theme, he trades All Might's signature punches for kicks. My version's better. You ever seen Rabbit versus Gun? I have, and I know how it plays out.
Considering the much higher muscle mass of a human's legs, shoot style allowed Deku to output even more power while giving his arms a break. A break from a break.
And despite being a classic melee build, Deku can fight at range by punching powerful gusts of air, and even precisely aim them with specially designed gloves.
Deku has an encyclopedic knowledge of quirks, and is always analyzing their strengths and weaknesses mid-battle, even if he does sound a little weird.
Despite only barely getting accepted in the first place, Deku quickly became one of Class 1A's most dependable fighters. Because, yeah, somehow these students are constantly getting drafted into literal wars against murderous supervillains.
Midoriya's successes in battle against ruthless criminals like Stain, Muscular, and Overhaul came much to his old bully's chagrin. Where Bakugo was a child prodigy, he now found himself overshadowed by his hard-working rival, and the two would use their mutual respect and animosity to motivate each other to get stronger.
Classic frenemies.
I was about to say, that's how it should be.
By pounding the living tar out of each other.
Luckily for him, Deku soon learned that living tar pounding wasn't the only thing he could do. Turns out, One for All did not originate with All Might. It had been passed down 8 times until it arrived at Deku, with each inheritance also carrying the previous user's
if there's a hood
quirk
version
as
of it.
well.
I think I've seen a hood version of My Hero Academia.
Crazy long and strong energy tendrils
I know
to
some
tie
of
enemies
this,
up
but,
and swing around the city, or shoot one out of his mouth.
It's about the
just like
Superman clapping mosquitoes.
And Danger Sense,
Mosquitoes
which gives him a minor reactive precognition.
AKA, he's Spider-Man. Not even a reach. The mangaka is like the biggest Spidey fan ever.
He can also produce a smoke screen to mask his presence, float in midair, or
like
store
Batman.
kinetic energy over time with Fa-Jin.
Like that. By storing up enough, he can even match All Might's max power without any recoil to boot. Strong enough to change the weather and create city block-sized tornadoes with a single punch.
And he's even stronger with his newest quirk, Gear Shift, which allows him to increase the speed of an object anytime he touches it. In conjunction with the power of All for One, he can use this to warp reality itself. Deku can go toe-to-toe with arch-villains like Shigaraki, who's fast enough to react to and catch laser beams with his bare hands.
That's crazy.
But nothing could prepare him for All Might's archenemy, the shadowy leader of the League of Villains, All for One.
All Might only ever showed his young pupil kindness and support, but that couldn't change the absolutely crushing pressure Deku felt at every moment.
Even classically trained dickhead Bakugo came to help his teammate out when he needed it. Like when they teamed up to share One for All and punch an island-sized hole in the clouds 24 miles high.
Whoa!
Just goes to show that
I'm trying to watch that.
Isn't a one-man army. Deku's true strength
like when
comes from his
Goku,
teamwork
Vegeta team up
and his friends.
And with their help, Deku
you
will
always gotta
surely
watch when
become
Goku and
that
Vegeta
beacon
team
of
up,
hope
bro.
he dreamt about as
You know
a
Vegeta
child.
let Goku be on his last breath.
For all mankind.
But then Goku will be like, I need your help.
This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile.
Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/deathbattle.
I'll get y'all the last little 5 seconds off. Alright, so now we're gonna learn about
You know it,
ASTA.
you love it, and in the world of Black Clover, it doesn't come from a box you bought at a tacky West Hollywood costume shop. Everyone's got it.
Mana is the source of all magic, a supernatural energy found in the air and in living beings. Except living beings whose names are ASTA.
Not only was the young Asta an orphan abandoned
Asta,
by his mother
not
at a
Asta.
church as a baby, he was born with a mutation that prevents him from having any mana to speak of. Well, neither do I, and you don't hear me crying about it.
Yes, you do.
Do they make all these shows the exact same these days?
Asta had a dream.
I think I've seen this show before. I haven't like watched
his
it,
best
but
friend Yuno promised each other one of them would rise to the throne.
this is
of
the show that's
greatest
like on the
military
flicks,
position in the
right?
land, the Wizard King. Wizard
The
King?
Wizard King?
Really, guys? Sometimes they call it Magic Emperor, but we all know what they mean.
So he
LOL.
dedicated himself to getting swole as all hell in a world of nerds. He would be its lone jock god, shoving every last wizard into a locker until they crowned him king.
But huge, frightening pectorals
That's
and a
me
tiny,
every day.
screaming goblin child weren't enough on its own. He needed something powerful enough to shut down his opponent's magic.
He needed the 5-leaf clover grimoire.
Essentially a book of spells, a grimoire will choose its user and float beside their wielder at all times.
And Asta was lucky enough to receive the Una reverse card of grimoires. The 5-leaf clover can harness the power of anti-magic, which will literally nullify the effects of other magic spells.
That's kinda
almost
cheating.
like wizard kryptonite. Let the locker stuffing
Alright, but what
commence.
other skills you got? Cause
Nerds.
Deku don't got
It
magic.
wasn't long before Asta was accepted into one of the 9 squads
Unless-
of Clover Kingdom's magic knights,
All Might?
the Black
I mean, All
Bulls,
Might.
filled with
Yeah,
lazy
isn't it?
drunkards,
All for One,
antisocial
is that
otakus, and literal
technically magic?
sociopaths.
My kind of people.
if that's magic, we know who's gonna
mostly.
win.
But much like with Asta, you shouldn't judge a grimoire by its cover. And soon they were
You can
all
tell who's
working
gonna win by
together
the
and kicking
skill
ass
set
like
that
a
they have.
family
You know what I'm saying?
should.
When they have the
Asta
skill
harnesses
set,
the power of
instantly
anti-magic by
tell who's gonna
summoning
win.
swords imbued with it from the grimoire.
Like, we know
Normally,
who
these
was gonna
swords
win
will quickly
Goku versus
drain the mana
Superman.
from
We
anyone
just-
foolish enough to wield them. But Asta does not have
3
any
times
mana,
is crazy.
turning his greatest weakness into
Sorry
a
if I
one-of-a-kind
spoiled that.
strength.
He's got
I didn't really
his
spoil
classic
anything,
Demon
but
Slayer,
I
an
kinda
enormous
did.
great sword which cuts through spells with its edge and deflects them with its flat. Or the Demon Dweller,
Make sure
which
y'all go
can
watch
also
that
absorb
Goku
and
vs
copy
Superman video on my
magic, then
page
toss it right
on
back to
Twitch
sender.
and YouTube.
I think my personal favorite is the more complex
It's the
Demon
trilogy, all three of them.
Destroyer, which severs the relationship between a spell's cause and effect, countering the effects of its magic. This could result in anything from healing a village that was inflicted with poison to preventing reincarnation.
Yeah, okay, some of these can get a little heady. I personally prefer keeping it simple, like using anti-magic telekinesis
snap.
to surf on your sword through the sky.
It's worth noting that these swords are made specifically for countering magical attacks and sources of mana. The swords will act as though blunted when striking non-magical foes, more akin to giant clubs than actual blades. Not entirely inconsistent with real-life greatswords.
But none of that's even close to as cool as his deadliest sword, the Demon Slasher.
The
a katana
Demon
as
Slasher.
black as the pits of hell and twice as badass.
This one actually
damn.
does cut like a sword, but it's complicated. It lets Asta actually select what he does and does not want to cut, only
That's
affecting
gangster.
his target while leaving anything else unharmed.
That's
Okay,
fire.
at this point, isn't that just magic?
Magic with a loophole.
And he
That is
studied
kinda
the
magic.
blade long enough to become a master swordsman to boot. Not in the real life sense, in the anime sense.
He can spin himself like a tornado to deflect magic spells, thrust forward at top speed like a charging
in the
bull,
Final Fantasy?
launch a barrage of anti-magic projectiles, and even channel anti-magic into his swords to vastly increase their size.
Well, while he may be no good with mana, he has learned to detect ki. Because, of course,
The life
Key?
force existing in all things, Asta can detect hidden opponents and even predict their movements ahead of time, as long as he's fast enough to react.
with such crazy powers,
Do I even
Asta
need to
was
ask
taking
y'all?
on threats like the
I don't
Eye
even
of
need
the
to ask
Midnight
y'all who y'all
Sun,
think gonna
the
win, bro.
Devil Zagrid, and the Dark Triad. So many nerds, never
Dark
enough
Triad?
blockers. Too bad for Asta, though. He had one serious inner demon.
Literally, housed within the five-leaf clover grimoire was Liba, a demon exiled
Oh,
from hell
RIP.
for completely lacking magical powers, and who just so happened to get adopted by Asta's mother.
Until he got
What?
possessed by a different demon and killed her. Vowing vengeance on all demon kind, Liba manifested anti-magic
This is
from his
mad
hatred as a
interesting.
way to kick their asses. Which gave him and Asta a lot of common ground, despite the whole, mom murder thing.
In fact, the two
Murder
became
thing.
true brothers and formed an unstoppable duo. Liba can actually fully merge with Asta for a massive power boost that lasts up to 5 minutes, at the cost of leaving Asta nearly powerless for the next half hour.
Come on, I want it. Yeah,
Me too.
I mean, I'll take it if I get to be strong enough to slice buildings to pieces, obliterate huge chunks of earth, and tear the most
I'm with
powerful
that.
demons apart. Give me the goddamn book. I'm the book boy, okay?
Even characters earlier in the series like Patoli had magic capable of completely vaporizing the entire Clover Kingdom in a single attack. And demons that Asta has fought since then like Dante and Lucifero are leagues stronger.
Hell, screw all these demon forms and anti-magic
Beat me with
powers.
only one arm,
Asta's
slice
body is
the
so
demon in
incredibly
half,
well
destroy
trained.
the
He
large
dodged a beam of
landmass,
light while
gathered by
sleeping,
Dante.
as in he was
Shout out to Dante,
asleep,
go watch
and
that.
the force of his
Man,
sneeze
no, oh,
pushed
let's
his
go
head
watch
out
the
of the
playlist
way of
of
a beam
Death
of
Battle.
light. Light speed sneezes, everyone.
And despite his headstrong and irritating personality,
AKA screaming at the top of his lungs as often as possible.
Asta's an intelligent fighter who has leveraged his skill against far more experienced foes.
He has
But
one
he wouldn't
arm.
be anywhere without the ragtag band of deviants he calls friends. With them at his side, there's no way he won't
homies.
climb the ranks to take the Wizard King's throne. Especially with Yuno pushing them both to get stronger.
Unlike other
LOL.
classic shonen rivalries, this one isn't tainted by antagonism. They truly want what's best for each other, even if they're competing for the same throne.
Yuno's gonna need all the luck he can get, cause even if Asta never gets mana of his own, his true magic is never given up.
Facts. Alright, who y'all
This
got?
episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Life can be overwhelming, and many people are burned out without even knowing it.
Symptoms can include .com/deathbattle.
Alright,
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
lock in. Let's go. Who y'all got?
He's gotta be crazy strong.
Lock in.
I'm gonna have
Deku
to
versus
rely on
Asta. Who
just
you
my
got?
power to take him down.
It's gonna be stressful.
Really hard.
Oh, all right. Good flying around.
Man, this guy can give even Luck a run for his money.
That Deku is just going crazy. He's running around too much. See? He's running around too much. Are they in a battle stadium? He got the Final Fantasy sword. That's the Soul Calibur sword. Matter of fact.
Sword's supposed to be sharp.
He said our sword's supposed to be sharp.
His speed isn't slowed by his sword's weight at all. Gotta hamper his movements and get that book out of his hands.
Yeah.
He found me.
This is interesting. Oh!
Now it's my turn.
The hell is that?
Wait, are you not using magic?
Are you not using magic?
Where would I be if I can't beat a guy like this? Detroit Smash!
Ooh! Oh, he took his sword. It's over. All right, guess you got another one.
Detroit Smash!
He's saying Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Yo, this is going kind of crazy right now. You just get the book back, Matt Fat. Whoa.
Detroit is, but I've had enough of it.
He said I don't know what Detroit is.
Hit me with all you've got, because I'm never going down.
Yo, this is intense. I ain't gonna lie. These two young bulls is going at it. Yeah. Now they're going dumb right now. Alright. What is this place, y'all? I don't know.
It's not going all out anymore. I just gotta hit him really hard.
Bro just went Super Saiyan.
You wanted my best? Here it is! 1 billion
Yo. 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 Nah, they about to end this right now? What's happening? Ooh, he found the sky.
I did it.
He did not do it, gang. No, he did not do it, gang. Ooh.
Take that, Detroit.
Not funny. He said, take that, Detroit. Mr. Satan. Yo,
poor Deku.
Yeah, poor
He tried
Deku,
his
bro.
best, but Asta
Poor
just,
Deku, bro.
Shoved him into that great big locker in the sky.
Both Deku
It was
and
over.
Asta were fairly evenly matched melee fighters without any specific abilities
I was about
to
to
give
say,
one
no, they
an
wasn't.
easy edge over the other. Though, to be fair, the variety of quirks Deku inherited from past users of One For All did make him more versatile and unpredictable.
Plus, quirks are biological mutations, not connected to some supernatural energy source like mana.
Yeah.
So Asta's anti-magic powers were basically useless here.
And
LOL.
Deku was generally a smarter and more tactical fighter, but against Asta's incredible might, this time Brawn beat brains.
Let's crunch some numbers!
Damn.
Deku's greatest feat of strength was splitting that enormous cloud formation with Bakugo.
By measuring the size of the island and comparing it to the clouds
Bro
above,
said-
we can determine they dispersed over 63 trillion kilograms of water.
That's the weight of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
That's crazy.
12,000 of them.
And
Wow.
required an energy of nearly 80 teratons of TNT per punch.
Let's compare that to Asta. But Toli's spell was going to be strong enough to vaporize a country the size of the Clover Kingdom.
We can use this map from the manga to estimate the size of Clover Kingdom to be about 500 kilometers in diameter, about half the length of Great Britain. Vaporizing a country of that size would require an energy of over 480 teratons of TNT, over 6 times greater than Deku's punch.
While Asta uses anti-magic, it isn't an automatic counter. It needs to be comparable in strength to the spell it's combating.
I feel like
and Asta's gotten way stronger since.
Asta was also
Deku,
quicker. Sure, scaling to Shigaraki would give Deku roughly light speed reaction time.
But Asta
who started
could
the match?
dodge
I don't even
light
remember who
in
started
his
the match.
sleep, and that's his base form. Even before transforming with Lipa to get way faster.
And since Deku and Asta's precognitive abilities
This match
more or
was
less
OP.
matched each other, it was only a matter of time before Asta simply overwhelmed him.
Especially since Deku has struggled in the past
I had
against
to-
faster opponents.
I
Sure,
had to
Deku
hit him
was
really
smarter,
hard.
but if he literally didn't
bro, what
have
are you
enough
talking
time to come up with a plan of attack before getting hammered, his brains were wasted.
My fault, y'all.
Deku's
My
tactical
fault, y'all. This
brilliance and
guy,
harem
this
scarum
thing
tenacity
is like
definitely gave his
irritating
opponent
me,
a run
bro.
for his money. But Asta's raw power,
mosquitoes,
blinding
you know what I'm
speed,
saying?
and deadlier
Mosquitoes be
weaponry spelled the
deadly,
end for
man.
All Might's pupil.
Deku
Literally.
gave it his all, and I wish he had won. Hasta la vista.
The winner is
He said, I wish he
Asta.
did one.
Hey, if you want more Death Battle ASAP, why not grab a membership? You'll
Alright.
get exclusive emotes, badges, live chat,
Shout
live
out
streams, and a
to Death Battle. Make sure you go get a subscription to their page. Become a member. Anyhow, so it's my brief overview. Man, I thought Deku would have been a little bit better, like in the fight. I didn't think that he was just gonna basically be like, I just need to hit him really hard and blow his whole arm out. Like, whatever. I knew Asta was gonna win, obviously, based on that skill set. I said it from the beginning, but I felt like the match could have been a little bit better in a fight aspect, not necessarily the like drawing. Anyway, that was cool. W for Asta. Sorry, Deku, you are now gone. You shouldn't have been moving like that. You already know who it is, Osiris Law. Shout out to Death Battle. Make sure you go subscribe to their page, join their membership, and if for some reason you can't be yourself, you could be Lourde. Follow me on Instagram at ThankTheLourde, as well as TheLourdesGiftShop.nyc and TheLourdesGiftShop.com. Appreciate y'all, and yada!